guys, this is Melfire and I'm here today for the session, girls. And you guys sent me some questions and I will answer as many as I can. I am on tour right now, one of my first European tours of this year, 2025. I am in London at the moment, visiting some countries after this. So I finally found a quick moment to answer your questions. So let's see what you guys have for me. First question. Are you someone who's not afraid to wrestle a man naked? Is it more challenging to wrestle naked physically or psychologically? Does the visual makes it feel more empowering for a woman to see a man beaten naked underneath her than beating him in clothes? That's a hard one. Oh, of course, I like to beat men one way or the other. I don't care if he's wearing clothes or if he's naked, because he's gonna go down anyway, so doesn't matter. But yeah, I think when he is without clothes, there's more options of stuff to do, like finding some weak points, for example, throughout the body. Challenging. I don't find it challenging, really. I don't find it challenging just because he's naked or anything. It's empowering. It's nice. About the visual part, yeah, I think it falls into the category of clothed female and naked male. So it gives an extra domination side, like a dominant side for the woman. So it's definitely empowering. Have you ever knocked someone out and were you worried about them? Yes, I have knocked several people out. I wouldn't say worried because usually those things are discussed beforehand in the sessions. Like, I don't just knock somebody out, like we discuss about it before, and I only do it if they don't have any known health issues and everything. So I wouldn't say I was worried. No, it's just for some people it's harder to get knocked out than the others. Like, some people go really easily and some people get really desperate and afraid before it. So yeah, those worry me a little bit more because you see that they are not going to be able to do it and they really want to do it, so that might do some harm to their health. But other than that, no, luckily I never had any issues with this. In wrestling sessions, do you prefer more skilled opponents who can give you a challenge, or a less skilled opponent, or fantasy wrestling sessions where you're in complete control? It depends. I have both kind of sessions. I get more requests for fantasy style. I think because most of my videos are based in that, so there's a lot of role play, there's a lot of bondage, face it inside my videos. So I think what they see is what they want, but they also know that I am a martial artist person, so some of them also want to test that, so I also get competitive. But I would say I like more the fantasy style ones, especially when I'm traveling, because I do many sessions in several days in a row, and it's way easier to do the fantasy style sessions than several like competitive sessions. It just wears you out and you're completely tired after that. And I have fun with fetishes. Like, I'm a dominatrix, so I like the BDSM and fantasy style more. For lift and carry sessions, Do you prefer lifting heavier people, which is a more impressive lift, but not able to hold the lifts as long and has fewer lift options? Or smaller people, which is a less impressive lift, but able to hold those lifts and more lift options? I prefer smaller because I like to throw them around and make them feel like a rag doll. So yeah, I don't like when the person is much bigger. I usually don't take it at all, so I like the small ones. And who's the hardest to wrestle? Big and tall or small short people? It depends. There are some big people that are easier to wrestle than smaller. It depends on how skilled or how they use their strength. So I had like people like twice my size, big men, that they were easier to beat because they don't know what to do, and had some smaller people than me that they could really, like get away with it and give me some hard time. So it depends. When was the first time you remember putting someone in a scissor hold? Since then, have you used the scissors on someone who did not have a fetish for it? I think outside of the martial arts setting, it was exactly when I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a few years ago. People were watching videos and seeing that I was into martial arts, and they, right in the same moment, start asking me for sessions. I didn't even know session wrestling was a thing at the moment. So I was like, you want to pay me so I can practice my jiu-jitsu on you? Yeah, sounds like a win-win situation because I gotta practice my stuff anyway. So it was always a win-win situation. I was really so happy with this. That's why I made it my full-time job, and here I come. Like, I travel all the world because this is so much fun and it gets the best out of both worlds for me. So I think that the first time out of the training, the regular trainings, was like 6 years ago when I started the wrestling, like on a regular basis. That was the first time somebody asked me for the scissor holds. And if I used it on someone who did not have a fetish for it, in the personal life, I don't think so. No, I sometimes use it on my classmates on jiu-jitsu class. Like, sometimes I do stuff that I'm not supposed to do in the middle of the training. I have to hold myself sometimes, that I have to remind myself that I am in a formal training and I am not doing a session. So it has happened, like doing some reverse or something in the jiu-jitsu class. Then I'm like, oops, sorry, forgot. But no, I think that has happened maybe when people ask what I do for a living. And if I'm very, very inspired, I say, well, I beat people up. And they're like, how? Like, let me show you. Has happened. What is your favorite moment for a session? Favorite moment is when I can see their faces getting red, sometimes purple. Faces getting red and eyes getting watery. And that sounds very sadistic, I know. But it's the transformation that it's really nice when I can see the scissor hold happening. and when they start transforming, so you know that they are in the limit. So I really like to watch that moment, and when the veins start popping out. It's sadistic, I know, but I love it. How different is it wrestling woman versus man? Um, One thing that really happens to wrestle women is I think sometimes they get more personal. Like they really want to win because it's a woman thing. Men are competitive because it's a battle of the sexes. And when they decide that they are not letting a woman win because, they are a man and that's how it's supposed to be, they get really aggressive, but that's predictable. A woman is funny because they take it to the personal side. So it's like, okay, it's either you or me. So in the past, I've had a hard time with both, I think, with both. So I think men are harder because of their strength. So when they become aggressive, of course, it's harder. But yeah, women definitely are not behind. Um, would you date a man you beat? Yeah, yeah, of course, not because of that. I mean, has to have other stuff that interests me. But yeah, and I would beat him on a regular basis. I don't have a problem with that. Depends on who's asking. Have you ever humiliated a man you defeated that did not want to be humiliated? Mm, that's hard. Let's see. I think if he doesn't want to be defeated, it's already a humiliation if he is. So maybe I could have been carried away by the moment and, you know, maybe I made the situation worse. Could have happened. Sometimes I get really carried away. But yeah, I don't think on purpose. No, it's so hard to remember situations, guys, because I see a lot of people and I go through so many countries and everything, but I try not to do anything that it's not asked for. And if it happens, it's just my instinct saying, what can I say? Well, thank you for the questions. And if you have any more, just send them away. And I hope to see you guys in my Caesar holds very soon.